At the start, I would like to give my humble congratulations to BaseN for the first 10 years of their successful service providing. When making this presentation, I tried to get all the buzzwords at this stage, business to the first slide, and therefore I have the rethinking, which is the buzzword in our company's high executives. Then it is the up-to-date, the status, global, all these things. So that's why it's structured like this. A few words about myself. I'm working as a manager for the BIS, which is the internal IT services of Stora Enso, and on the infra services, platform services, which is providing the hosting services, the directory services, etc. And therefore, we are extremely interested of showing the value of our services to our internal customers, and therefore it is on the measuring and also then showing the measurement metrics to the customers. I do have some approximately 22 years experience in the forest industry. When I started, there were more than 10 forest companies in Finland. Nowadays, well, it depends a little bit at how you count, 3 to 5 Finnish companies and a couple of foreign companies who are working in Finland in this area. And I do have my office located at Anjalankoski Mills, which is nowadays in the city of Kouvola, where Stora Enso has 2 paper machines and 1 cardboard machine. Something about the company today. Our history goes extremely long way back on the history from the Stora side of our company. Stora and Enso merged at late 1990s. And nowadays we do have the turnover of something like 10 billion euros, where we do have the profit of 750 million euros on 2010. For 2011, well, we will see those figures somewhere on March, April, that what they will be. It looks that the turnover is on more or less on the same level. The profit will most probably be a little bit lower, but let's see. On the merger time, we had something like 33 to 34,000 employees. Nowadays, we only have 27,000 employees. And we do have some production or sales companies in 36 countries at the moment. On the merger time, we did have offices over 40 countries. Today, we are concentrating on the growth markets, which means the Southeast Asia, South America, or Latin America as total, and also on the some areas of the Eastern Europe for the packaging. And especially it is the fiber-based packaging, which is the cardboard packaging, and also a development of a fiber-based plastic for the packaging area. We do have the plantation for pulp making eucalyptus, which is actually our current logo is coming from the flower of the eucalyptus. We do have the plantations in Southeast Asia and also on the Latin America, and we are currently concentrating on developing that area instead of the waste and the Nordic wild, in that sense, wild forest pulp making. And then on the paper area, on the select grades, we do know, as everyone else, that the usage of the newsprint and the magazine paper is decreasing all over the world due to the fact that it's not anymore that sexy to read the newspapers from the paper. You should be using some electrical devices for reading the news. Business information services. This is the new structure of our internal IT, which is that we try to evolve our IT functions from the old-fashioned, in that sense old-fashioned, traditional way of operative to the service organizations, which is also meaning that we need to have more close contacts to our internal customers on the business and to show them the value of the money that they are investing for us. Some parts on this one, it is that we in our team on the infrastructure and the regional IT, that our IT is regional IT services, is the functionality which is providing services to all of our business areas or divisions today. Some figures of the structure where we are utilizing the services from BaseN. It is that we do have still on our network one connections to over 400 locations. On the highest time when we had the connections, there were over 500 connections globally. And those connections are in every other continent except the Antarctic. We do have some 3,000 servers in the environment when the production machine connected servers are excluded from that. We do have several computer centers in different countries, different cities, and also it is that we do have them from the several suppliers. And many of these systems need 24/365 availability and also the measurement about that availability due to the fact that quite many of those systems are used in that many different time zones that more or less sun never goes down on our environment. So we have the challenge how to monitor it, how to show that what do we get from here. And when we started this issue on some 8-9 years ago after the merger and struggling about how to handle the new organization and how to combine the Swedish and Finnish way of working together, which by the way was not that easy. It was that, as I mentioned, it's a global usage. Follow the sun never goes down on the user environment. And that is making it difficult in that sense that you can't start it from the one time zone or even one continent point of view on delivering that information. Then it is the challenge about the different suppliers. When there are different suppliers for different services, that means that you have different agreements with the suppliers. They have different ways of providing the information. You have also challenge of how to handle which language to use, what kind of measurements to get, and what way of the data is then delivered to you. And then the challenge that my boss on the IT wants to have a different view of the details than what I want to have, and on the other hand, totally different what the sales manager on the sales office in Italy, for example, wants to get from the connections and the systems that he is using. And that led to the comment that we do need at least one fast way of having the overview of the main systems. Then the challenge that even though we know what our customers wanted to know yesterday or what they want to know, or maybe we even know what they want to know today, we have no idea whatsoever what they want to know tomorrow or day after from that. And then the shortage of own resources, especially in the area when the personnel has decreased, the profit has decreased, and we are facing more or less every year a new cost reduction programs. And that led that we needed to get a flexible, independent solution, which is then why we want to go to further, what are the demands for that? What was the vision? What was then on some 6-7 years ago when putting the demands on the table? And the first one was that it needed to be flexible. That kind of that there can be made changes, not only what the supplier wants to deliver to us, but also what we want to have, or actually what our customers wants to have for that. And additionally, it should be independent of our internal network, so that you could get the information out of it even though our network would be unavailable. Of course, it needs to be available from inside of our network, as the most of the users are needing that. But it also needs to be independent due to the fact that it needs to be available also for our suppliers, so that they could see that what our metrics are showing, that we are not only depending on what they are delivering to us. Then, with having some 3,000 servers and quite many network connections, it has to be independent of any of the systems and no monolithic system as such. The challenge that there are so many users needing to have the access to that one is that the user access and the user management has to be flexible on that environment. You need to be able to provide different access to the CIO than what you are providing to the supplier who is providing you like email services or SAP services or whatsoever. Or then the different, the internal service manager responsible for email and what the external supplier is getting. And especially then there are some technical guys who wants to know every bits and pieces of the structure, and they need to have the access to those things. And unfortunately, to us technical guys, those guys who are paying our bills, they want to see something, and they want to see on one picture which is providing everything, all the needed information, whatever they believe that they would need. So there has to be possibility to provide the executive summary of this system. What was the BaseN promising to deliver us? How does the delivery meet those promises today? It is that we started pilot service in 2005. On 2006, we switched it to the production. It started with the network connections, one network connections following the availability of the network and measuring of the routers on the network, on the different sites. That included also the response times from the different predefined major sites to another one. And the servers were then added to this measuring on the 2007 when we started our major hosting services environment on the server side. And one part which we are extremely happy is that we started on quite soon the frequent development phone meetings, which was that we had a list of issues that we wanted to be developed or changed or whatever, and there were approximately half an hour telco on every second week or every third week, went through the feedback directly from our users to the developers and vice versa, developers telling that, hey guys, this is not even possible to be provided to you, that this is not from this planet, or then what needed to be changed, that it is possible to be developed. And that has led that we currently have some 700 something measurement points where we are measuring something. Whether it's a WAN network connection where there are the router is measured and everything on the router, the server, where the server, the processor, the disk, the processes are measured, or then it is the database when there are the database information. And we do have some 500 users on the environment, which is, as I already mentioned, that it is including our IT users, our business users, also our suppliers who we want to provide a limited access to the information about the services that they are providing to us. Some generic comments from this one. It's that the demands have changed during these 6 years. We have understood quite a lot more what should be measured and what should be shown on this measurement environment. And on this cooperation, we have been able to understand that what would be good to provide from the measurements and the reports today, both to our customers and also to ourselves on this. And on these frequent development meetings, quite many of those demands that we have felt really important, they have been managed to be implemented on production. I'm not saying that it's an optimal solution at the moment. There is some things that needs to be improved on the current environment. It is going to the right direction. And we feel that the user management as total on this environment is flexible enough. It is good enough for the purposes where we are using this service. And as it is an excellent tool for monitoring these services where we are using, it gives us a good tool for checking that where the SLA levels are the suppliers delivering the services according to the SLA levels, and if not, then we have a proof that, hey, here it is. See this one. Here is a black and white that there are something that we need to discuss about the SLAs. Network status monitoring. This is a picture of the main page of the admin console at the moment. It is showing that there are quite many green buttons on that day when I took the screens. And it's showing that we do have some red spots. And one can then dig deeper, either from the map closer or then directly to those balloons to show some figures on that. And go then deeper. This is just an example of the data through one of the network routers in 1 week. And this one is that you could get the figures for 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, or even for the several months, a year, to see the historical data, to see some trends where the usage is going on, or then you can go deeper to more or less to 5 minutes break on the structure. And on the service monitoring, the most important part of this one is that with this we have a uniform measuring method for the different services, for the different platforms, for the different suppliers. we have the same way of measuring and reporting things. And it is also that it is a one source for getting the information for the whole server from the computer center to the individual service from that computer center. And also from here you can get a easy, understandable presentation of the information to the different stakeholders, whether they are, as I mentioned, the business management, IT management, the suppliers, or ourselves. And what is important for us on the service delivery is that we get both the numeric and graphic information. And I have mentioned quite many times that there are development going on. That's also important for us, that there is possibilities to develop it further. Good. What next? How do we see that? What's behind the current corner working to us? As mentioned earlier, business needs are changing. It is that the paper, we don't know what will be the real business on our environment. What will they utilizing? How much will they move to their supplier systems? What would they need from there? And on the other hand, what kind of systems or the services will they be utilizing in the future? How much will they move their environment to cloud? And one thing that we know for sure that is there is that there is already a request to deliver some apps to mobile devices, whether they are iPads or Androids or Windows 7 mobile phones or whatever. You name it, our customers want to have. And then it is that once you give some information to your customers, they will request more detailed information. And then, as the last one, is that our service structure is diversified, and that will make a lot of new challenges on the delivering information, how well that is providing value for business, for the money,